Howdy, all you EULO people, and here we go for Saturday's Dewhurst card at headquarters, the final Group 1 here, until the Guineas Classics next season. And because there's always an what was I saying? Oh, never mind. Too much Friday night for Saturday morning, maybe. So, it's also the Chesarewitch, and try saying that after the bottle of Malbec I got into last night. Anyway, more of that later on, but let's skip forward to a couple of the later races on the card. I think I'll stick with Carl Burke and Blue to Blue for the Godolphin Flying Start Nursery. Let us see if this Blue Point colt can bring up the hat-trick after scoring at Newbury Park and Haydock, and if he can defy the £7 rise for those wins, as it could be a good day for the Spigot Lodge handler, with Hankelo sure to figure in the Autumn Stakes earlier on the card. With Charlie Appleby at the top of his game, Pacifica Pier must be on my list, while We Don't Tell Lies has been prominent in the betting this week and completes my list, headed by Blue to Blue. In the Boadicea Stakes, I'll side with Celandine. This looks a whole lot easier for Ed Walker's Celandine than the Group 1 Nunthorpe when we last saw her. And I mean, she weren't exactly disgraced in that hot sprint. And with the winner, Asphora, going in again at Paris-Longchamp last weekend, there's plenty of substance to her claims. To my mind, it all happened a bit quick for Celandine in the Nunthorpe, so the return to 6 furlongs here is a plus. Dubai Treasure and Richard Hannon's Circe also appeal, but I'll go with Celandine for the win under Kieran Schumacher. My Saturday nap is Zavateri, so, well, here we go for the Dewhurst. And what a race we've got in store, oozing juvenile quality. All the powerhouse yards are well represented, with Charlie Appleby's Distant Storm just edging it in the markets this week, while Aidan O'Brien runs Gestard and Italy, and John and Thady Gosden send out Oxagon with champion jockey, elect Oisin Murphy, getting the leg up. But for all these big guns rolling out their cannons, I'm going to buck that trend and go with Zavateri, and I know I've told you this before, Eve Johnson-Houghton does so well with her juveniles that I've got no hesitation in backing her here. For all that, Oxagon has particularly strong line of form to bring to the table, with his fine second in the Group 2 Champagne Stakes at Doncaster, getting a first-class franking when Puerto Rico and Cape Operator both scored at Paris-Longchamp last weekend. I think that Carl Burke's Alparslan has been mispriced in the markets, so I've taken an each-way punt on him, but Zavateri gets the nudge ahead of Oxagon. My next best goes off in the Cesarewitch. We've all known for a while how Willie Mullins likes to plunder these valuable handicaps, and I think he can do it again with Bunting. Canny old Willie ain't going to get them in on any mark higher that he has to, so there's been the usual careful bit of campaigning to get Bunting ready for this. Now, he's got a few for the feature handicap, but with William Buick booked, I'm reckoning that Bunting is his best hope, and if this unexposed 5-year-old wins, I'm for one putting the flags out. Simon and Ed Crisford have last year's second Manxman, who looks weighted to make a challenge with Jack Callan's £5 claim, while last year's winner, Alphonse Legrand, cannot be overlooked. Bunting to do what Willie does best, just like he did in the Ebor with Ethical Diamond, and scoop this valuable pot with William Buick pulling the strings again. I reckon it's a bit of a poser for the opener on Saturday, and although my heart's telling me Damasus, my head says First Conquest. So, there you are, pay your money and take your pick. And although I do get it that 3-year-olds have a pretty decent recent record in this, it's the 4-year-old First Conquest that I think is the one to beat. Reasons? Well, looking back at his brace of wins at Maidan in January, I think that there's still more to come, though First Conquest does give weight to both Damasus and Andrew Balding's Gladius. All in all, a good race, where Damasus has to prove he can drop to this 9-furlong trip, but First Conquest gets my vote. Next up, it's another of the group races that can go to Charlie Appleby when, look to the stars, rocks up in the Zetland. I mean, Yabba Dabba Doo, the way he ran at Newbury last time, out in a conditioned stakes, gave notice that he'll be up for this trip, so I'll take Look to the Stars to serve it up to the Ballydoyle pair of Endorsement and Pierre Bonnard, while Andrew Balding's Allegress completes my list under Oisin Murphy. Look to the Stars is on the hat trick, so lines up in fine form and gets the big tick from me. Then, I think that Carl Burke's Hankelo is the one with the right profile to win this autumn stakes. Just touched off by a nose on the nod in the listed Flying Scotsman at Doncaster, this Night of Thunder colt can return to winning ways here over this longer trip. Of course, Charlie Appleby has a brilliant record in this on his home track here at Newmarket, so Alzanati has to be considered having won his debut here on the July course, while the Aidan O'Brien pair of New Zealand and Straight Up should both be in the mix. These four are my principals, but I'm happy to go with Carl Burke's Hankelo for the win.